In this video, we are going to explore how to create agents in Google ADK framework without writing a code and just using a config. So let's see how we can build our config file to enable agents. For this, I am in my Visual Studio Code and I have just opened my terminal. I want like my config file and everything has to be created under this particular folder. So first of all, I'm just going to invoke my virtual environment. And now I want like all the config file to be created under this specific folder. So I will navigate to this particular folder first. 08 agent underscore config. Now if you want to create your config file, then you need to run this command adk create. Then you can pass type, and here you can define the type as config, and now you can provide like any of the name for your folder. I can just call it demo agent. And you can see the first thing what it's going to ask you need to choose a model for the root agent. I'm just going to select one because here I'm going to use the Gemini 2.5 flash model, but you can also go for the other model. So I will just go with the option 1 in this case, and then it's going to ask choose your model. So you can either go with the Google AI or you can go with the Vertex AI. So I'm just going to go ahead with the Google AI in this case because we are going to use the Google AI. So we have to pass API key, and it's saying like if you don't have an API key, then you can just create it on the Google AI Studio. I do have the API key, so I can just directly pass it over here and I will hit enter. You can see like it has created environment file, init.py file, and then root agent.yaml file. So let's see how this file has been created. Under this, you can see this demo agent folder, and then we do have this init.py file which is empty. Then we do have the .env file, and here our key has been defined as we mentioned, and then there is a root agent.yaml file, and in this root agent.yaml file you can see okay some of the details are already listed. So instead of a code, it has given the structure like this, where name is going to be the root agent, description, instruction, and model. So now let's try to run this and see whether it works. So I will go to my terminal, and then I will navigate to my folder which is agent config, and then I will just go ahead and run ADK Web, and we'll click on this URL, and here you can see our agent is already selected. So I can just go and try to ask a normal question, what is atom, and you can see we are able to get a response also. So as you can see with this config setup also, we were able to execute our agent. We don't have to write any code in Python, just provide the right config and we were able to get the output as well, how we were getting by executing the code. And you must be wondering, how do we know like what kind of config we need to pass over here? So for that, we can visit to this specific page, and you can see all the configuration and the required field has been mentioned over here. At the top, you can see okay there are different kind of config. So one is LLM agent. Also we have seen the loop agent, parallel agent, sequential agent config. So anytime when we want to use a specific agent class, then its parameter is going to be changed according to that. It's in the same way how we were selecting it via code, same thing has been mentioned over here as well. So we can just pick and choose what kind of field we have to pass it in the specific config. We just have to make sure okay we are passing all the required field. That's why you can see even in the default setup also all the required field has been mentioned. Now just to separate it out, whether it's going to be the LLM agent, loop agent, parallel, or sequential agent, we can define the agent class. So even if I click on this, you can see here it's saying okay what exactly we need to pass it. So default is going to be the LLM agent. So for this, I will just go over here and I can just make it agent class, and here I can pass LLM agent. So we would be able to know okay what kind of agent we have defined over here. We don't have to import it from anywhere. We are just defining our class at the top, and then we can execute it just like LLM agent. Also along with agent class, suppose if you have to pass certain tools, then you can see here we do have the tool option as well. Tools is a type of array, and if you have to pass something, then the name is the required parameter and then the arguments. Suppose if I have to pass any inbuilt tool, then I can just pass tools. After this, as we can see, there is a required parameter of name, so I will pass name, and then I can just say Google search, because we know Google search is one of the inbuilt tool of ADK framework. And here I can modify the instruction, answer user question using the given Google search tool, and we can see it in action by running it. So I can again go in the chat and ask what is the atom, And in this case, you can see the output. We can also validate it. So here you can see the Google search tool has been triggered. And this is actually, you can pass tools in your agent config. Now this is inbuilt tool, but there could be a scenario where you need to pass your custom tool. So let's see how we can pass it using agent config. So first thing what we have to do is go to your init.py file, and here actually you have to define your custom method. So I'm just passing it over here, and this is the same method which we have used earlier to get the weather information. Here I'm just importing the request, and I'm just going to save it. Now I have like my tool configured over here. I will go to this root agent.yaml file, and here I'm just going to mention the location of this method. So because our code is in demo.agent folder, so we are just going to say demo agent.get weather. Now this get weather name is coming from here because here we have given the name of our method as a get weather. So same name we have to pass it over here. I'm also going to change the instruction, answer the user using the given get weather tool. I just saved it, and I will invoke ADK Web, and here I can just ask what is the weather in Hyderabad, and our custom method has been invoked over here, and it's going to give me the details, and we were able to get the details using our custom method. So that's how actually you can pass your custom method in the agent config tool.